Hey friends, welcome to a recorded version of Think Again. I had to run somebody to the airport tonight, so I apologize for pre-recording, but I hope you'll bear with me. This Sunday is an important Sunday for the church. It is not only our regular worship time and Sunday school time, all the good things we enjoy, a little confirmation time, but it is also our annual congregational meeting. One of the things I love about the Union Church of Lake Bluff is that the congregation is the church, not the pastors, not a denomination, not a building, but the congregation. And the congregation comes together to have this annual meeting and review the year that we've had together. This is the first of 29 annual congregational meetings where I actually put together the annual report, which was a job. But I enjoyed doing it. Part of what I got to make were some decisions about what to add in terms of pictures. Part of what I got to do was review as I went and realize just how many people are involved in making a year happen in our life together. If you look at that report, I think you can see a lot of different layers of our story, of our life together. You can see the story of the church going through a different set of financial challenges. I remember standing in the McGinnis room when the water was flooding and thinking with Jerry, oh my gosh, what is this going to involve? It turned out quite a bit of work and quite a bit of dust and a lot of cleanup afterwards, but a dry McGinnis room in the end. If you go through that report, you'll hear about Dane, the young man whom we helped with ramps and with helping him be able to get in and out of a pool and helping have a gazebo where he could sit with his friends because he was the young man who lost his hands and his feet as a result of a septic infection. He went from being the captain of the soccer team to a few days later being on life support, and a few months after that being a quadruple amputee. Amazing guy, Dane. Rodney was my guy. He was blind and wanted to walk his dog. I love the idea of Rodney walking that dog around those stepping stones and up onto that beautiful deck that the kids built for him. You'll see the story of the day when the children made incredible sidewalk chalk art. Thanks to Erin and her help, it looks like stained glass out on the sidewalks. You'll see pictures of the front entrance to the church being absolutely filled with Thanksgiving bags, meals for families that wouldn't have been able to have a Thanksgiving meal. You'll also see the story of so many different ways that people have reached out to those in need. Part of the reason we have an annual report is so we can go back and check things. I had a miraculous moment this week. Someone called and said, I think my son was baptized at the church in 2000. Can you give me the date when he was baptized? And thanks to Jim Moss and his organizational skills and all the administrative assistants, I went downstairs, opened the file cabinet, found the 2000 annual report, and found that son's baptismal date. It was a miracle, a Union Church miracle. It's unbelievable. It is the story of us, this annual report is, and the meeting is a chance to sit and ask questions about that story together. It's a really important thing. Members can vote, but anybody can come. And there are a lot of people who care about the church who aren't necessarily members. You also have a chance to join via live stream, but you'll have to join in real time, which would be at 11 on Sunday morning, because we're not going to post it. Because I don't think if we were sitting down to have a family lunch, we'd necessarily tape that and post it for everybody out there in the Facebook world to see. But you're a part of that story. Even if the main way you are part of this church is by coming to Think Again on Thursday evenings, you are a part of the Union Church family, a place where we come as we are, where we remind each other. You know, I can remember who you are when you're having a hard time. You can remember who I am when I'm kind of struggling. And where we challenge each other to take a step past our own wants, our own needs, to reach out and feel that incredible feeling that's there when we've made a difference in someone else's life. I hope you join us on Sunday. I have a couple more things to say about the story of us when I come back. So enjoy a little more music, and I will be back in just a couple minutes. So one of the funny things I think about an annual report is it's really good at telling us what happened, but it's not great at telling us what's going to happen next. In fact, none of us are great at that. I think back, if I go down to that file cabinet and I look at all of those years of annual reports, I think, gosh, did anybody see 9/11 coming? Did anybody see the fact that the 150th anniversary of the church would turn out to be life-changing for the congregation? Did anybody think that that courtyard that was getting discussed was ever going to matter as much as it meant? Did anybody see the pandemic? Nobody saw the pandemic coming. Did anybody see Mark becoming a technological wizard? At least a pastor who could run a video blog with some discussion time. We don't know what's coming, but what we know is that there are things worth hoping for, and what we know is whatever it is we need to face, we'll face it together, which really is pretty much the story that's been told all the way through all those annual reports. Here was the challenge that popped up in the air. Here's how we came together. Here's how we sort of looked around and said, what are all the skills and talents and abilities that we have available to us here? And how do we bring those to bear to get the job done? And here's what we did. Whatever this next year holds, that's going to be the story. Who steps up together, who locks arms and gets ready to sweat and do some work and figure out how to deal with what's next. There's a wonderful Irish poet that Barb Mortimer turned me on to, John O'Donoghue. This is from his book, To Bless the Space Between. It's called For a New Beginning. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, the beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside of you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight, when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again, with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. Together, we'll meet and we'll talk about things on Sunday. Together, we'll move into a shared future, and we will find the talents and the insights and the gifts that we need to be able to write the story of this year and find a way to have that be the substance of an annual meeting next year. Join us if you can. I hope you will, even if it's via the live stream. We'd love to have your voice and your presence with us. In the meantime, may the grace and love of God go with you every step of the way. Joy and peace, friends. Bye.